Okay, that was rather difficult. I got all the corrosion out, which included using a needle. This is the magnesium chassis. I want to point out two important design flaws, and these are found in a lot of cameras. This is the raw magnesium. I'm going to scratch it here. There you go. You can see it right there. There's the raw magnesium. Now, the problem is when condensation gets in here, it creates oxide, which sloughs off onto an unprotected main board. Okay? That's an issue. Now, you think that your D500 is sealed against weather. What you can actually see here, I get the lighting right. There we go. Hold on a second. Is just a foam gasket. You see it pressing up against the foam gasket. I'm pressing up against the rear command dial. That's all. This stuff actually sucks up moisture too, by the way. That's all that's protecting. That's the only seal between the back plate, which there's a gap big enough to throw a horse through, as far as, not literally, but there is a huge gap. There's between the back plate magnesium chassis and the top plate and the main chassis, and it's just this sticky. It's basically a sticky rubber foam that's yeah, it's insufficient. So if you thought that there was like some sort of like rubber gasket, I've been saying this over and over and over and over again, that people think that their camera is sealed against the water resistant, weather resistant. That's all BS, total BS. There's nothing protecting this main board. That's why, bringing your camera in from the cold to the heat, you should always have it in a Ziploc bag. So if you're going to go out in the cold and shoot, drop it in a Ziploc bag, bring it inside, and let it warm up to ambient temperature before you take it out of the Ziploc bag. And like I said, another thing, like I said, this raw, it's okay to scratch it, this raw magnesium backplate, the white oxide sloughs off and it hits this, and it'll drop on a resistor, and then it'll accumulate, and then there goes your camera. So this all should be actually anodized black, just like the regular main chassis is, but it isn't. They should do that, but they don't. Nikon's guilty of this, Canon is guilty of this, Sony is absolutely guilty of it. The rougher it is, the worse it is too. This is actually smooth. Actually, if you look on the inside back plate of a Sony camera, no, I'm not picking on Sony, it's an absolute fact. Picking on all of them, really. It's really rough, and it'll actually condense in the porosity of how rough the magnesium plating is, and then it'll develop magnesium oxide faster and drop on the main board. Anyway, there's a bunch of corrosion right here. As you can see, I had to scratch it off, and it was actually dropping right here on this flexicable contact, which I removed and I cleaned out with a needle. Yeah, I had to clean it out with a needle and some solution and a Q-tip. So, show you some of the design deficiencies. And as I told you in a prior video, the D500 is shocking. There is an enormous amount of empty space in this camera, unlike anything I've ever seen before, and I've taken apart a lot of Nikon cameras. Shockingly empty. Thanks for watching. Bye.